They get it to Colson from behind the arc. Good! Incredible! He's done it again! Only this time he's tied it. And Colson hits the three-pointer. Bounce pass. Whoa. Colson from behind the arc. He's usually playing around the rim, but he can definitely pass with the best big man in the Basketball Champions League. Meanwhile, Colson banks it in.
Hello, New Bedford Guide fans. I'm Brendan Curie, and I'm here with New Bedford's own Bonzie Colson. How you doing, Bonzie?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Well, Bonzie, as you can read on the bottom of the screen there, was recently named the MVP of Europe's Basketball Champions League. He was actually the youngest MVP in league history. Now, Bonzie, we've been doing these interviews maybe a dozen times or so. I've talked to you.
Yeah.
Started off, I think you were a freshman at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
We've done these in the visiting locker room at TD Garden. We did one up at Maine Red Claws, whatever their arena's named. But this one, you're coming live from Strasbourg, France.
Yes.
So first off, what's it like? You played 1 year in Turkey, and now you're here in France. What was that like, kind of going to a new country, and all new experiences there in France as opposed to Turkey?
Yeah, well, this is my second year playing overseas. And, Turkey and France are obviously two different countries. The style of play, basketball is a lot different. In the French league, it's more aggressive. They have athletic wings. The domestic players who are the French players, they're talented and they have, a lot of impact on their teams compared to Turkey. But, I'm just thankful that I can continue to play the game. And actually, we played in Turkey during the season, so it's good to go back and see some of my old friends who played on, on certain teams. But I'm just, happy to continue to play the game that I love. And, with Six Strasbourg, we've had a great year so far. It's our coach's first year being a head coach. He's 34, so he's really young. We have a new GM, so it's a great organization as well. So we've all been coming together as a team, as an organization, trying to win as many games and just play hard as best as we can.
Yeah, you guys were actually in Russia yesterday, the day before, playing in the third place game. You reached the semifinals of the BCL, and that's the farthest that Six Strasbourg's ever gone in the BCL. There, what was it about this year? Is it this group of guys you guys were able to have such a successful season?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys on our team, we play with that grit. A lot of us have, play with that hungry, humble type of style of play. A lot of us have different backgrounds of how we got here. And, when you play with that hunger and that passion for the game and you bring a lot of guys together, special things can happen. And, our GM brought a lot of good guys in this year. This is his first year being the GM with our team. So, who knows what could happen with him being a first year being a GM. But we came together. We've had great chemistry. We're cool with, we're close with each other on and off the court, which kind of helps our relationship on the court. And, we just come to work every day and we have fun with it. I think that's important. A lot of guys on our team were smiling when obviously through COVID, it's tough, but we're trying to keep our energy high at a positive level as best as we can. But we just enjoy the game. All of us enjoy the game, and we really love it. So I think it shows game by game.
Now, you yourself, last year in Turkey, you averaged about a dozen points, 5 rebounds a game. You increased your scoring average to about 18 a game this year. Actually led the league in scoring, although it was very close. Like a couple of you guys were at 18.2 points per game. What was that? Was that something kind of a mindset for you? Was that just kind of the opportunities in the offense allowed for that? Would kind of explain how the scoring average jumped this season.
I think last year was a big learning curve for me. I had to learn a lot playing overseas, the style of play, the culture, being by myself in a whole different country, the aggressiveness. It's just it's a totally different type of game compared to what I've been playing my whole life in the States. So coming here, I had to learn a lot. And I think me learning a lot and having this second year and putting in the work with AJ, my cousin, this past summer of grinding every day, working hard, working on my game, I think all that has kind of shown. And obviously, as a basketball player, you wanna be better. Your average wants to go up. You want more rebounds. More obviously, that's with any athlete. So it's just my work ethic, is showing is showing now, and I put in the hard work so that I can win these awards or we can win big games as a team, and I can hit big shots and do all the things I love to do. So it's all the hard work, and then just me learning how it is to be a professional basketball player over here, overseas, and just intaking, all of the ups and downs and enjoying the ups and downs and just grinding and trying to get better, understanding what, my goals at the end of the day.
You mentioned big shots. You hit a big one. It was in our highlight video we played there before. I think it was back in October. You hit a game 3. It was an inbounds pass, cross court. You hit it. If any Celtics fans out there, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the OG Anunoby 3 that he hit against the Celtics in the playoffs when they brought in Taco and he was trying to guard the inbound. And
I think it was that similar play. I think it was the same play.
Oh, was it actually? Okay, well then that's why it reminded me so much of it.
Yeah.
But what was that? I mean, that had to be a pretty big moment for you. I mean, especially early on, kind of melding with your teammates, getting to know them, to kind of hit that 3 and have that celebration. What was that like?
Yeah, well, the first time we played that team was our first game of Champions League, and I hit a game winner against that same team, and then that was at their place, and then we played them at our place home, and they were kind of killing us the whole game. We had to claw ourselves back. And then I end up hitting that 3 on the same team, and it's just that's what it happens, and that's what sports is all about. But it was a great out of bounds play that our coach drew up, a great pass by my teammate Ishmael, who's been passing great all season. And you dream for moments like that. You work on your shots, and I kind of like having the ball with clutch moments like that. I like having not pressure, but I like having that having that pressure, I guess, to hit big shots when you need to hit free throws, to get big stops. And I just shot it like a regular shot, and it went in. So it was great for, obviously, the team, the organization, the city of Strasbourg as well. And it kept us in that playoff. It kept us in to continue to play in the Champions League, which was important, which was a very important game for us. So, I'm glad that, it went in for sure.
I bet, and I'm sure that team doesn't want to see you again.
Yeah, they don't.
If not, they're doubling or tripling you at the end of the game.
Exactly. And they would talk, but the thing is, they knew, they were like, "Oh, it's going to go to you. It's going to go to you." And I was just like, "I don't know. I was trying to act like I didn't know what was going to happen." And,
Yeah. You mentioned AJ. I see him popping up here in the comments.
Exactly.
You mentioned the off-season work. You actually probably spent more time in New Bedford during COVID probably than you had. Probably since your first year or two at St. Andrews when you were commuting, right?
Yeah, I think, last year was probably the first year I've had just having the whole summer. With the Bucks, I was in Milwaukee the whole summer, grinding, working there, come home for the weekend a little bit, but I was mostly in Milwaukee. And then obviously in college, I was, here for a little bit, but also at Notre Dame. So and then before that, when I was with the Cavs in Cleveland, I was up there working out. So this was kind of my first summer last year where I could, work out at home. And, thanks to Rob Mendes and the Boys and Girls Club for allowing myself and AJ to work me out there. And we've just been grinding every day, getting shots up, getting tons of shots up, working on my ball handling, working on my shot, getting in shape, lifting. So we all, I was really dedicated to get better, because I knew with COVID it was going to make and break a lot of people, and I wanted to continue to work as best as I can while I was home.
Yeah, I drove by, saw you guys down at the beach a few times. Saw you riding your bike all around town. Yeah. You guys had the pool noodles out at the Boys and Girls Club, shooting over the pool noodles. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a whole schedule where we was. AJ's an early person. That's the thing. I'm not a morning person, so I would rather go a little bit in the afternoon. But we was going to the beach early in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was hot doing beach workouts, working on my footwork. And then we was lifting every day at the Boys and Girls Club. We were shooting, working out on the court at the Boys and Girls Club. So we had a really good plan. We was riding bikes around New Bedford. So we was just, working hard. And, my work ethic, I think is unbelievable. I work really hard because I love the game. So, I got to work. I can't just sit home all day. I got to get out. I got to get better. I got to improve my game as best as I can. And I did that during last summer.
Did you notice that when you got out on the court that you felt a little bit differently this season, that you really felt like, you were hitting max shape there? Or?
Yeah, I think, I toned my body up a little bit. I changed my eating habits. I'm a pescatarian now, so I only eat fish. So I changed the way I eat. And I think all those.
New Bedford's a good place to be eating fish. So
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. So I kind of changed my diet. I think that has helped me, especially with the sore knees and the amount of impact my body takes. So fueling my body the right way every day is important. And it kind of started in the summertime, and now I'm continuing it now, and I can see it paying off to this day.
Now, we'll get back into this season. One thing that's interesting about Europe is you kind of have 2 seasons in one, right?
Yeah.
You have your the League A, the French League, and then you also have the Basketball Champions League. So explain a little bit how that kind of works, because you're almost playing them both at the same time too.
Yeah. So it's all right. So let me see how I can explain it. So there's multiple leagues overseas. You have Euro League, you have Euro Cup, you have Champions League, and you have FIBA Euro Cup. Everybody wants to play a Euro League. That's like Real Madrid, Barcelona, like all the top teams are in there. And then below that is Euro Cup, and then right below that is Champions League, where I played. But Champions League and Euro Cup is kind of the same. Like the talent level is kind of the same this year because of COVID and other things.
So and now Turkey, when you were playing in Turkey, that was which level?
Yeah, I was in Euro Cup.
Euro Cup, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And then you also play domestic league, which is your country's league. So last year when I was in Turkey, I was in the Turkish league and also in Euro Cup. So this year I'm in the French league, which is called Jeep Elite, and also Champions League. So we play, it's you want to play in both leagues because there's more exposure, obviously. You play more games, more talent. So that's kind of your goal when you come overseas. You rather play in 2 leagues.
And the games are kind of intermixed, though. It's like you might play a couple of domestic games, and you'll play a Champions game or 2, and then you'll go back to.
So we play.
But is it all just kind of one season to you, or is it actually kind of feel like you're shifting between different leagues, or is it kind of all behind the scenes stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, you got to shift because the style of play is completely different.
Yeah.
In the French league, it's they play more of the French players a lot. In the Champions League, you're playing a lot of talented. You play a lot of Americans who are talented. They're playing a lot of minutes, so it's completely different. Styles of play. Especially when you're playing teams in Turkey, that style of play is different than France. I'm playing in Greece. I'm playing in Latvia. We're playing all over Europe. So the style of play is different. So you got to make certain adjustments. The coaches have to make certain adjustments. There's different scouting. Yeah. You got to worry about certain guys. So it's completely different.
And then on top of that, you had the COVID season this year.
Exactly.
Before we even get into that, you actually played kind of as COVID was outbreaking. You were in Turkey still in March of 2020, right?
Yeah,
you had kind of like one game where they didn't allow anyone in, and then they kind of shut it all down, if I remember.
Yeah, we played one game. I think Turkey was like the only,
you guys were the last ones playing, if I remember.
We were the last country playing. And, nobody at the time thought of it, COVID being this crazy thing, right? So we were just playing, and they just said no fans. So we played that last game. Thankfully, we won. And then we had a game that coming week, but we were unsure if it was going to be canceled or not. So they ended up canceling the game. And then next thing you know, I was headed home, and then I was home until about August.
And you probably had to get home before they shut down some travel.
Yeah, they had to shut down the borders, so I packed all my stuff, and I was out of there in like 2 or 3 days. And then I've been home ever since. So it was definitely crazy.
And then what was this season like? Kind of playing the whole season, with I'm sure some pretty interesting restrictions and.
Yeah, we're constantly getting tested all the time, especially traveling to different countries. We got to get tested 2 or 3 days before. So we do that all the time. A lot of games have been canceled. A lot of games have been postponed. We have no fans. We've had lockdown. I think it was 5 p.m. throughout this year. Now it's 7 p.m. So no restaurants.
Yeah, that's like in your normal
Yeah.
life. That's not even basketball.
Yeah,
That's like
exactly.
the
Yeah. So
grocery stores and
I haven't
restaurants.
been in
And
a restaurant. I haven't been in a restaurant, and I don't know how long. Nothing's open in France. Nothing. So, what's up, Mom?
There's Mom.
So yeah, hey Mom, love you. So yeah, I mean games have been postponed, and we wear a mask all the time, and we still got to play. So I think the next couple weeks, I think they're going to allow fans fans to come to the games. So that will obviously be great for us.
What's it like playing with no fans? I mean, you have to work a little bit harder to kind of get yourself pumped up and kind of get into the same mindset? I mean, it probably feels like you're back playing a JV game or something, with nobody there.
Yeah, I think you got to find your inner motivation of why you play the game. At the end of the day, everybody, we're away from our family, so we got to play with that chip on the shoulder, no matter if it's fans or not. And I think we do that. A lot of the Americans do that, and I think we're used to it. We definitely talk a lot more on defense. You can hear the plays being called, which definitely helps. You're communicating with the coaches a lot more. Asking what play, the other team's running. So there's definitely some advantages to it, but obviously there's nothing like having fans, feeding off their energy. I think it's something that we all miss.
Absolutely, I'm sure. Yeah, no, it's all right. I know you got a little scratchy voice today, but you're doing great, man. So the MVP award itself, I mean, was that something that was even on your radar, or did it kind of come out of the blue? I mean, what was?
Well, I knew I was, one of the top players in the league. I wasn't expecting, to get the award. There was a lot of talented guys who had tremendous seasons in Champions League, and I also thought they were going to give the award, at the end of the season. I didn't know they was going to give it the award during the middle of the playoffs, but it was definitely a blessing. I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish, and I think this is a great start. Obviously, you want to be the best, as you want to be the best player you can be. And I just think my work ethic and the amount of time I put in the gym, all that work is showing now, and it's great to see. But I'm still going to work. I'm still, always going to be humble and hungry. And this is just another, great achievement, for myself.
How'd you actually find out? I know I woke up and I saw a Facebook post from your mom, from Cindy, who just posted a little bit earlier. But did you have a little bit of a heads up there? Or?
I know I had no idea. It happened right after practice. Coach was like, "Yeah, you're the MVP." But I had a feeling something was up, because all the coaches were huddled up during our practice. There was our media people were talking. So I went to my team. I was like, "Yo, something's going on." I didn't know what it was, but I sensed something. And then, excuse me. And then my assistant coach said, "Coach is about to say something. Pay attention." And I was like, all right, what is it going to be? I was expecting, some news about the game. Is another player not going to play? Something like that. And the coach said, yeah, congratulations, Bonzie, for being the MVP. And I was like, is this the MVP of the whole league? Or is this MVP of just what do you mean?
Yeah, MVP of what, right?
Yeah, MVP of what? And then it says MVP, and then, and then it was over after that.
And then I believe you got the award at the semifinals, or was it the quarterfinals?
No, I got the top 5 of the league quarterfinals, and then semifinals. They gave me the MVP trophy before the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was also a little weird, because you got an MVP award. You guys just went through this whole tournament here. Made to the third place game. I know you're missing your point guards. That probably hurt in that game. But now you got to turn around. You have about a dozen games, I think it is, left or so in the French league.
Yeah, we have about 12 games left.
So that's got to be a little bit weird to kind of go through this tournament and then turn around and you're like, all right, we're right back to it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's the 2 seasons effect. So now the Champions League season's over, and now we can focus on winning the French league. And we're doing great in the French league. I think we're 3rd or 4th place. We haven't played in a couple weeks, a week or two, because we're in Champions League. So, but I think playing in Champions League has, these last couple games playing against these Spanish teams have made us better as a team. And I think we could learn from, our losses and how those teams played, and we can carry it over to playing in the French league. So it's just another opportunity for us to, win a championship and to win as many games as we can. And I think, with my teammates and the coaches and the organization, I think we can really make a good run to win the French league.
What was the reaction like? I mean, I'm sure you heard from all kinds of people after you won the MVP award. What was it like kind of hearing that reaction and probably hearing a lot of people real proud of you?
Yeah, obviously it was a blessing. A lot of people from back home, people hit me up and, congratulate me on the award. It was definitely, humbling for me to get all the acknowledgement. And, just one of many, hopefully.
Now you have a pretty cool claim to fame. You're the only person in New Bedford ever to play in the NBA. You got 8 games in there with the Milwaukee Bucks, a couple double doubles up there. Is that still the ultimate goal? Is to get back in the league, or I mean, where do you see yourself? Year or two down the road here.
Yeah, that's my goal, to get back in the NBA, and I think it's very possible. And I'm just gonna have to keep working hard. I'm focusing on this year, finishing strong. If you continue to just work hard, win as many games, everything else will follow suit. So I think the NBA is where I would like to be, and I just got to keep working towards it.
What have been some of the things you've been working on your game? In college, I think a lot of people will remember you first kind of burst out the scene there in Notre Dame, guarding Jahlil Okafor, right, in Duke, and but you had a good game against Georgia Tech. Was probably your first guard. I think you kind of got on the radar a little bit with how well you were able to body up Jahlil and play as a big man there. Notre Dame kind of used you as power forward, center, 4-5. Your game's a lot more of kind of a swing man now, right? A wing, a 3. What's that been like adjusting your game? You're facing up a lot more. You're not posting up as much. How's that adjustment been for you?
Yeah, I think every year I've had to improve something within my game. And that's just kind of the player I am. I like to, a weakness that I have, I tried to harp on that early in the summer and work on it. And I think just sharpen up everything, offensively, being a lethal shooter, ball handling, coming off screens, defensively, moving my feet, being quicker with my feet. So I'm always trying to do something to get better. And I think now it's just being more consistent with what I do. With my work ethic, with agility works, with shooting the ball, with my face-up game, just being more consistent. Being a pro, I think that's what it comes down to. So, I don't really overthink what I have to do. I just like to get better, with every part of my game. And I think it's showing now. But I think I'm still young, so I still have a lot more improvement to do. I want to get stronger. I want to be more. I want to I want my 3-point percentage to be higher. I want my free throw percentage to be higher. All those things I want to be higher. So I got to continue to get a lot of reps up. I want to, be in a tip-top shape, next season. So I got to do a lot of, agility workouts. I got to do a lot of different things to get my body moving, to get my body quicker. So I think just every summer I like to do something different just to be better.
And a lot of those numbers have jumped. The free throw number, a couple years now, you've been in the 80s.
Yeah,
so that's been pretty nice, right? I think I did 84%, I think now, and the 3-point percentage has been up there too. I know you were red hot last year in Turkey, but still been shooting. You're shooting at 3.5 a game or so now, and you're hitting them 36, 37% clip. Which I'm sure with the herd, it was a little bit of a cold streak there, I think, from 3.
Yeah,
but seems like that 3-point shot's come a long way, and then the free throws too. I mean, from college, that percentage is way up.
Yeah. Exactly. Just being consistent. That's all. That's what it comes down to. Just being consistent.
All right. I got 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
You played in the NBA there. You got your 8 games. What was your welcome to the NBA moment? Because you played high level college. You played in Elite Eights. You played against a Kentucky team with Karl Anthony Towns and all that. But there still was probably a hey, I'm here in the league moment. What was that for you?
When I saw that jersey in my locker, I was like, all right, I'm here. Here it goes. You see Colson in second. You see that NBA logo in the back, and it's like, all right, you're here now. This is what you dreamed of. Just go out there and play a game. It's that simple. So I think seeing that jersey every day in your locker and just being around NBA guys and the facilities, it's like, wow, I'm here. Like, I made it. So, there's obviously little things that, you do being in the NBA, but it's definitely like the little things and, seeing your jersey and being around guys and the trainers and the good food and the good facilities, all those things is like, okay, this is legit. So, it's definitely great things.
Because your first taste was actually preseason with the Cavs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were there. Ty Lue was coaching.
Yeah.
And you had Corver and Larry Nance, all those guys.
Exactly.
Kevin
Yeah,
Love.
and I've played with a lot of really known, talented guys. Learning from K Love, learning from James Posey, who was like kind of my mentor when I was with the Cavs. Like he taught me not how to shoot, but he was helping my techniques of how to shoot. So I've learned a lot from guys and trying to ask questions at every level I'm at. I think that's important. Just learn, grasp as much knowledge as possible. And the same thing when I was with the Bucks, just learning from guys, asking questions. George Hill, Eric Bledsoe, Giannis, Pat Connaughton, all those guys, just trying to learn how to learn the ins and outs, learn things I can do. Like how is your body like this? Like Giannis, how do you look like this? Like what do you do?
Those trips to Whole Foods, right?
Yeah. What do you do every day, Pat Connaughton? Like, what do you guys do to maintain your physical body, to maintain these years you're playing? All those things. I was asking questions, and they would answer them, and I was just learning. I think at that level, you just gotta learn. You gotta be a sponge. You can't be afraid of the moment. You can't be afraid to ask questions because there was once those people. They were once rookies as well. Yeah. So they had veteran guys that they would ask questions to. So it was definitely great. Like Pau Gasol, like learning from Pau Gasol, and we had like a cool little dynamic on the bench of me asking questions, him talking to me about things. It was crazy. You're like, all right, like, this is legit. This is real.
Yeah.
So
you're probably thinking back to those like 08 finals and watching him play against the Celtics. And,
exactly. So we had, with that Bucks team, we had a lot of talented guys that I was like. Vin Baker was assistant coach, and Vin Baker was like, I would call him Unc. So like I was learning a lot from him, just trying to be a sponge. I think that's important. When you're at those levels, and to this day now, I'm learning from my vets. Like my teammate DeAndre Lansdowne, he's 32 years old. He's been playing all over Europe. And I'm constantly asking questions, trying to learn how to be a pro, how to learn about how to get my body right. And I think that's important, just to ask questions to maintain your body and just to get better.
Well, I think that's actually a lot of the answer for my last question. I think I ask you this as the last question every time I've ever interviewed you, but I think it's the most important question I can always ask, and I always want the answer to be in there. For the next generation, the up-and-coming kids, the youth in New Bedford who are at the Boys and Girls Clubs, dreaming of being Bonzie or, whoever, Bryson Goodine or, whoever they're looking up to, what's the message to them? What do you think, what's the most important thing that you can tell to those kids? I know that's important to you too.
Like in terms of basketball?
Basketball or life? I mean, what if you had 5 minutes to talk to one of these kids or even a minute, what would you tell them?
I would say keep working, just being consistent. No matter what you do, there's millions of people who are doing the same exact thing. So you always got to find a way that makes you different than everybody else. No matter if it's you being a teacher, a doctor, a basketball player, no matter what you're doing, what makes you different? And that's something that I've kind of learned from my family of, sticking out the right way. And I think that's kind of important. It hits many different avenues. It's not just sports. You got to grind. You got to work hard too. You got to love what you do. You got to put hours and hours into it to be successful, because everybody wants to do the same thing you want to do. So I think the work ethic and not taking anything for granted, living in the moment, I think is very important. I think a lot of people think about the future. They don't kind of figure out what they're doing now, living in the moment, and how that moment can prepare them for the future. I think that's important. So just focusing on your now, living in your now, and just working hard every day. As the saying, taking no days off, I guess. So I think that's important, not only, like I said, for a basketball player. I think it's important for no matter what anybody, no matter the job.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking some time with us. Congratulations on the MVP award and all the great successes over there. And hope these last dozen or so games turn out well for you guys. And we'll see where you end up next season.
We'll see. Thank you.
Hopefully it's a little closer to home.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, thanks, Bonzie. We appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.